Hi, I'm Karen. Welcome to my channel. This is where I share my experiences using cruelty-free skincare and makeup on mature skin. Today, I'd like to share with you my morning skincare routine. First, I'll tell you about my skin. I have oily, mature skin. So my issues are enlarged pores, discoloration from sun damage, some sagging, a little bit of fine wrinkles, and just overall dullness if I don't take good care of my skin, and also blackheads if I use anything too heavy. So for my morning cleanse, I use the Jordan Samuel Matinee Gel Cleanser. I think that this is a great cleanser for any skin type, but especially for my oily skin. It really makes my skin feel clean. It just goes on so smooth and really just cleans the skin, but never strips it. Makes my skin feel nice and fresh and ready for the next steps of my skincare routine. Next, I will use the Thayer's Witch Hazel with rose water and aloe vera. Now this is an alcohol-free toner, and with the rose water and aloe vera, it just adds a nice moisture layer to your skin and is another prep step for those following steps of skincare. Next, I get to my first active ingredient. It is my May Love Vitamin C Serum, the Glow Maker. I think this is a wonderful vitamin C serum. It's made with L-ascorbic acid, which is true vitamin C, so it's not a derivative vitamin C. It's got the punch of true vitamin C. It goes on very nicely on the skin, and I can tell a real difference in my my discoloration, and my skin is a lot glowier. The color is a lot smoother. This is just an excellent product. I think I'm on my 4th or 5th bottle, and I just can't say enough about it. It's one of the powerhouses of my routine. After that, I usually let that sit in for a while and soak in good before I go on to the next step. Some people say it doesn't matter, just layer, layer, layer. But I like to kind of give my actives a chance to really set in the skin, settle in, for my pH balance to settle out a little bit for the next ingredient, so that every active ingredient really gets a chance to do its job. So usually during that time, I may start put on my eyeshadow primer or do some other steps of getting ready, and then come back to the skincare after that's been sitting for about 15-20 minutes usually. Next up is my Paula's Choice BHA liquid. This is also an amazing product that's made a huge difference in my skin. It's a BHA, so it's salicylic acid. And if you watched my first video, my Empties skincare journey video, you'll see that I started out trying to use AHAs. And what happens, I think, a lot of times is people with mature skin will start researching and see the videos about AHAs, lactic acid, or glycolic acid, and they'll think, oh, that's what I need. But if you've got oily skin, it may not, like for me, it may not do anything for you. Salicylic acid really penetrates deep and makes a big difference in an oily skin, I think. It did for me, for sure. This is the one product I know for sure I could see a visible difference in the size of my pores. They were smaller. You can't shrink pores. You can't get rid of big pores. You can't make them go away, but you can minimize them with good skincare. And this is the one product I know for sure made a big difference in my pores instantly, visibly different. It also, it helps with those blackheads that I can get. I can get breakouts from trying to use products that are too heavy for my skin, too emollient, too thick. You know, maybe a product that's great for someone else is just too much for my skin, and I'll get a breakout of blackheads. This gets those cleared up, and it just really adds to that glow, to the smoothness, and most of all, reduces those pores. Can't recommend that one enough. It's a great product. So next up, normally this step in my routine would be to use my Jordan Samuel Hydrate Serum. Unfortunately, that product is out of stock at the moment, but I have found a nice little replacement for the time being. It's from the Inky List, which is a brand that's brand new to me. I've never really heard of it until a couple of months ago, but I guess they're compared often to the Ordinary because their prices are similar and they just have basic, simple, pure ingredients. This one is their hyaluronic acid, which is the same ingredient that's the active ingredient in Hydrate Serum. So I kind of using this as a replacement at the time being, and it's been a good little pinch hitter. It does add some moisture to my skin. Even if you have oily skin, it's easy to have dehydrated skin. And I live in San Diego, California, which is a dry climate. And I work in an operating room, which is also a dry climate. So I really need to add some hydration into my skin. Even if I have oily skin, I need hydration. And this one's doing a really good job to add that little bit of extra moisture that I need. I've been pleased with it. Next up, I will usually go in with my Jordan Samuel Hydrate Facial Mist. Now this I use earlier in my routine at night, and I'll get to that on my nighttime routine video. But in the morning, I like it. It kind of helps seal in that hyaluronic acid I just used. And I just feel like it fits well at this point. And I believe that everyone has to experiment with their skin routine and see where things fit for you. For me, this may be a second or third step for a lot of people, most people. But for me, this is where it fits in my AM routine. If I feel like I need that little extra boost of moisture, of hydration. I don't use it every morning. I do use it every night, but I don't use it every morning. I use it when I feel like I put on my hyaluronic acid and I still feel like I need a little something to boost up the hydration even after I put this on. This is a wonderful boost of hydration. It is the Jordan Samuel Hydrate the Mist, and it's made to be a facial mist. I don't use it, I don't spray it onto my face. I use it more almost as a toner. I spray it into my hand and then I pat it into my skin, and just usually on my cheeks and into my neck, because that's where I usually feel like I need that extra hydration. And it really does give that. It's got wonderful ingredients. It's just a product, just lots of hydration and soothing, and just really adds a lot to my routine. I'm very pleased with that product, and like I said, I use it every night and pretty often in the mornings too. Now, my last active ingredient that I use in the morning is from The Ordinary, and it's the 10% matrixyl. So this is a collagen boosting product. It has the peptides in it that, along with retinol, which I'll get to in my nighttime routine video, boost collagen production. Or at least that's its claim, and I really do feel like it has helped my skin. I don't know. I know there's so many debates about what can actually boost collagen in your skin and what cannot boost collagen in your skin. But I know that the matrixyls, the peptides that are in this, have a lot of research showing, positive results. And I have positive results with my skin. I feel like I use it primarily, I target around my eyes. I use it almost like an eye cream and a neck cream, and then in this area here around my lip for those lip lines, and then into these here. I don't really know that it's done anything here because this is more of a saggy issue than a fine lines issue, but I do feel like it has helped around my eyes to make these lines here less prominent, and on my neck. And I definitely know I've had a difference in the lip lines. And I do attribute it to this product. So I recommend this if you do have some fine lines and some targeted areas you want to really look at. This product's done well for me. I have only been using this maybe 2 to 3 months. So it's not been a long time yet, but most of these other products I just mentioned, I've been using for over a year, and I can really speak to those, you know, with the exception of the hyaluronic acid, which is like a fill-in at the moment. This is my first bottle of that, but all of these other products I've been using for over a year. So this one is relatively new to my lineup, but I have been very pleased with it, and I do think it's making a difference. So that's the last of my active ingredients. Then I move on to a moisturizer to seal everything in and finish up that morning routine. I will use my Jordan Samuel Performance Cream. I love this moisturizer. It is just the perfect consistency if you have oily skin but you want to put a moisturizer on to seal everything in and feel like it's, you know, that last bit of soothing, that last bit of moisture for your skin for the day. It does the job. I will add in the winter time, or if I've been overdoing my active ingredients, which I tend to do every once in a while. I get a little impatient, get carried away. If I do that, I will add a few drops of a facial oil. And right now, the one I'm using that I really love is from You to the People. And it is the Mackay, and I probably said that wrong, but it looks like Mackay to me. Mackay and Acai Prickly Pear Goji Oil. Now that's a mouthful, isn't it? But it is a really good oil that has a lot of great natural ingredients in it. This is a brand I've only tried a couple of things from, but I've really been pleased with You to the People so far. Everything I've tried from them has been high quality, done what it says it was going to do. I love this oil. It's not too heavy for my oily skin. Now, if you have oily skin, it sounds like adding oil is not what you want to do, but if you've done any research on it, you'll know that adding some oil to oily skin can actually reduce your production of oil. Your skin gets that balance it needs and doesn't feel like it needs to push out more oil. So I'll add this on occasion if I feel like my skin can take it. The times I don't use it is if I already feel like my skin's feeling oily and heavy even before I get to that step. Then I'll just use my performance cream alone. But either way, that's my final step of my skincare routine for the morning. And then I'll continue on, of course, with sunscreen, which is the last step of your skincare and the first step of your makeup. And it depends on what you use, which product you use. And I use different ones. Sometimes I'll use just a sunscreen, or sometimes I'll use a product that has sunscreen in it. If I'm going to be at work all day and I'm not going to be out in the sun and I just feel like I don't need a heavy sunscreen, I'll maybe put just on a primer with sunscreen in it or something like that. So it kind of depends on what the day holds, but of course that is the next step. I'm going to stop here though, because that is the last step of my actual skincare routine. My next video will be sharing my evening skin routine, and then I'll share that video and explain what I use at nighttime. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Please consider subscribing to my channel, and I hope to see you here again soon. Thanks. Bye-bye.